Ryan, congratulations, and I am pleased to be able to help you push your candidacy forward. I think as far as Quinte West residents go, we need to get behind this guy. We need to get our memberships in the Conservative Party, and we need to get out and vote at the nomination when the voting comes up. I think for Quinte West, this is going to be a very, very powerful voice. This is a guy who lives in our community. His family lives in our community, and he's going to fight for our community. So congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it very much. John, I don't know if you knew, I grew up in Whites Road. So we came here, my family was born in Belleville, and our family's been here for generations, about 2 or 3 of them, or 4 of them, I think. And when we had the Wanlin Inn that my grandfather opened in 1979,
I've heard stories about that.
which is up at the 401. I was born a week later, or a week before that. I think they opened and I was about a week old. Wow. So I think I was helping them mop up the floors. But we grew up on Whites Road, and I grew up at the end of this air base. And I remember, because the air show used to be every 2 years, or every year for a while, then every 2 years. And I had my walls just plastered with the program from the air show. And I knew every plane, and I knew every pilot that was coming in, and every aircraft. And I grew up in Trenton at that time, and remember being a kid and going to the McDonald's and my birthday parties, and so I have a lot of history here. And our family, of course, had that hotel until 2002, but spent a lot of time here, and I really understand Quinte West, and of course not just through my father as well, but it's always been important, and it's a very important part of this whole region.
So Ryan has a strong family history in Quinte West. Not only did he grow up here, but his father did some amazing work for our community. If Ryan can do half of what his father accomplished, we're going to be very, very fortunate. I've seen Ryan work and his drive, and I know he'll do much more. He will develop the legacy of the Williams family that has started here, and I think we'll go much, much further. Biggest thing to me is Ryan is a resident of this bay, of this riding, and I think that's huge. We have to have somebody here who's lived it, who's grown up here, who understands it. His time as chair of the Bay of Quinte Economic Development Commission, or tourism.
Bay of Quinte Regional Marketing Board.
Regional Marketing Board was huge and helped bring a lot of business and activity to our area. As we all know, Quinte and Quinte West and Belleville is becoming well known to the residents from outside of this area. It's a growing area. Tourism is growing here. We need somebody who understands the economics of that and to represent us well in Ottawa. I think you understand that well, don't you?
Yeah, and I think from Vice Chair right now of QEDC and manufacturing, understand the importance to keep manufacturing going in this region, as strong manufacturing clusters as we've got. To understanding, I was the chair or founder of Quinnovation, so knowing what the worth of small business is, and a small business like yourself that employs so many people and is such a big part of this community, and how you need to be supported no matter what happens in the economy for now and for the years to come. And how many small businesses exist here are a big part of this region, and through COVID-19 need a lot of support. And I think this industry is doing very well, but some aren't, like restaurants and retail. And I think we need to spend a lot of time supporting them in small business in Quinte West, in Prince Edward County, and Belleville.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think we need to spend time helping them develop their plans to continue on. It's a different way of life right now with COVID-19. Even us sitting so far apart and starting out with our masks on, it is very, very difficult right now to experience and enjoy life the way we normally do. One of the things, Ryan, we've always fought hard for in Quinte West, and we're going to demand your support, is for our hospital system in Quinte West. We do a lot of federal patients. We do a lot of military and their families that help in our hospitals in Quinte Healthcare total. But we need your help to fight for our Trent Memorial Hospital. You can see I am wearing my TMHF mask. I'm a strong voice for that. And I know you're going to be behind us to help us with that fight. And I know it's not a federal responsibility, it's a provincial. But I know you'll apply the pressure to Todd Smith and help us keep our hospital open the way he's been working. So I think with the two of you, it's going to be an easy fight for us. So
that's right, and I think that's an important part. It's a partnership. So it's a partnership not only with the communities that are here, but the federal and provincial governments. So it's a partnership in terms of what we need to fight for as a whole. Even though it may not be my jurisdiction, there still needs to be support for that, right? And the same with the municipalities. There's a lot of things the municipalities need, infrastructure and health care and primary health care providers. And we've talked about that in Belleville. It certainly exists here in Quinte West. That's something, even though it's not under the federal jurisdiction, still fight for it. Everyone deserves to have a primary health care provider. The other thing that we've been fighting hard for in the region is hospice. And hospice is something that we've needed here, and now we have the groundbreaking. There's still some money to be raised with Quinte Hospice that's so important. And I know that you've been part of that as well.
A little bit of not a big part of that, but a little bit. But you know, there's a lot going on in our community, and we need that voice in Ottawa that's going to help us get funding for the local initiatives and the things that we want to do here. Military is a big thing, right? Military is a huge part of our economics in this area. So we need a strong voice to support that. We need somebody who's not afraid to stand up to the Minister of Defense and say, look, we need this in our region. We have a lot of families here. They use the services in Quinte West and Belleville. We need federal support. We need to push our military and make sure our base is kept healthy and viable and responsive.
100%. And no one would know that better than yourself, being the current honorary colonel of CFP Trenton, and what an honor it is, and thank you for your service.
Replacing a Williams.
Yes, replacing a Williams. So my father knew that and was a strong voice, but you've both been very strong advocates for the base, and appropriately so, because it's so important. I used to think it was only 1,500 to 2,000 personnel. It's well over 5,000 with a payroll that exceeds $100 million a year, which is extraordinary. And it's such a huge boon to the area and just an incredible thing to have here. But not only that, the role of the base and what they do military across the world, and just understanding that 8 Wing has the highest load for a base in Canada, and is strategically very important to the whole world. And that is because it's doing air transport, but peacekeeping, and also our SARTEC and all the different wings that work together so well. The base is extremely important for this area.
What I often say to people is, you watch the news, and wherever you see Canada has a role in international aid or international peacekeeping or military events, wherever Canada is, there's personnel from 8 Wing there. That's how our military gets there. It all happens or comes through Trenton. That's our home of air mobility, whether it's cargo or people or whatever. But the other thing, and the other huge advantage we have with the base here, is we have military members and their families who, they're coaches of our hockey teams, they're coaches of our soccer teams. They sit on boards to help us raise funds and do things like Quinte Hospice, or we have a military member who sits on the hospital foundation board. They're in our community and part of our community. They give so much to us. It's incredible. We have to have somebody in Ottawa that understands that and will fight for that and protect that. That's a huge part of our community. It's really who we are. And really, the payroll they have helps keep businesses like mine and like yours viable. It's incredible how good they are.
It's incredible. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is also the patriotism that we have towards the military, because they're here, and like you said, they're involved in everything. And just a great example. You know, in terms of other businesses, I know that you've been involved with so many different organizations in Quinte West as well, which are very important. So besides TMH, you've been a part of Kiwanis, have you not? And
Rotary Club of Trenton, Chamber of Commerce for numerous years. So yeah, I love this community. I would give anything to help this community grow and retain its vitality. And that's why I'm supporting you, because I see in you somebody who we can say, hey Ryan, we need to do this for our area. And you'll understand it, you'll see the benefit of it, and you'll fight for it. It's huge in this area, so it's a great way of life, sitting here on the shores of the Bay of Quinte. It's incredible.
Well, this area has so much to offer. There's so much potential. And like you said, there's so many good community groups.
And then we'll get into the wineries down in the county,
that's right.
and their tourism. But a lot of my visits down there I don't really remember. So.
Yes, that's right.
No,
and now the breweries as well. So
yeah, it's an incredible area.
Yes, it is.
It really is. So
yes.
I think we would be fortunate to have Ryan represent us. He's a resident here. He's got a work ethic. He's a family guy. His wife and his kids live in this area. And I think you'll often see Ryan out with his wife and his children enjoying the benefits of this area. It's fantastic. I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you, John, very much. Really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Glad to help.